Preview.
Eighth of the rarest Disney VHS tapes ever. Anyone who grew up in the 80s or 90s remember the chunky plastic colorful Disney VHS tapes. In recent years, Disney VHS tapes or so-called Black Diamond editions have been occasionally selling for exorbitant prices, thousands of dollars on eBay and other auction sites. However, just because people list them as a price doesn't mean that's what they sell for. Whether you will be one of the lucky ones that sell for these extreme amounts, driven by demands as much as the online pricing mythology, is anyone's guess. For each that gets sold at an inflated premium, hundreds sell for $25 to $75. Here's a list of the 8 rarest Disney VHS tapes according to the amount they fetched in some of the successful auctions for these common yet coveted tapes. The Jungle Book, sold price $2,003, movie year 1967, director Wolfgang Reitman. The 1967 Disney classic The Jungle Book sold for over $2,000, making one of the rarest Disney VHS tapes. It is part of the rare Black Diamond collection, noted for the insignia on the tape spine that has the words The Classics in white font and black diamond shape. This shape is known to drive prices for most expensive Disney tapes and will feature prominently throughout the rest of the list. Did you know most Disney animated films in the early days featured many directors, often more than 3, to direct separate sequences of different aspects of the film under the supervising director? Wolfgang Reitman is the first Disney director that was the sole director on any of their films. Through The Jungle Book is the second time he did this. The first was The Sword in the Stone, 1963. Fantasia, sold price $2,003, movie year 1940. Directors James Algar, Samuel Armstrong, Ford Beebe, Norm Ferguson, David Hahn, Jim Handley, Tee, Wilfred Jackson, Hamilton Luske, Bill Roberts, Paul Sutterfield, and Ben Sharpstein. Fantasia is the Disney Masterpiece Collection, sold for over $2,000 on September 23, 2021. This sealed tape represents the oldest film chronologically on the list, dating back to the mid-war era, when the success of Snow White represented enormous pressure on the studio to push the envelope of the art from as far as it could go. The visualized symphony of Fantasia did not meet the audience expectations for a cartoon, and was Disney's last profitable film to date, but it remains an interesting and sometimes expensive addition to their library. Did you know The Sorcerer and the Sorcerer's Apprentice was animated as an inside reference to Walt Disney himself, using his infamous raised eyebrow to dramatic effect? This is why his name Yen Sid, which is Disney's backwards. Aladdin, sold price $2,003, movie year 1992, director Ron Clements and John Musker. 1992's Aladdin began what would become a Disney tradition that continues to this day to include a song destined to be represented by celebrities and a challenge to overcome on the Billboard Top 100. Beyond a Whole New World, Aladdin is a fan favorite film and has sold for over $2,000 on eBay. There's never been a better time to revisit Agrabah, even if you have to shell out a few thousands for the journey. Did you know Richard Williams, a former Disney animator, has been making an animated film called The Thief and the Cobbler for decades, before it lost its financial backing and it was reclaimed by a bond company? Disney fast-tracked their version of his movie into production and released Aladdin ahead of the competition of Williams' film, leading many to believe that there are similarities as a result of Williams' plagiarism rather than Disney's. Lady and the Tramp, sold price $5,344, movie year 1955, director Clyde Geronimi, Wilfred Jackson, and Hamilton Luske. Lady and the Tramp was re-released on a tape on its fully restored version remixed with THX sound for their Masterpiece Collection. Originally, it was sold at a Disney store for $21.99, and this particular edition has a cute sticker offer of $5 off for Ragu. In light of its final selling price of $5,344.99, these early prices make it seem like a miracle to find at a thrift store. However, they rarely sell for this much, and this one has the added benefit of being sealed in the shrink wrap. Did you know casting the singer Peggy Lee as the singing pound dog prostitute could be considered the first time a major celebrity voiced an animated character, something in which now extremely common? She later sued Disney claiming a breach of contract and it was awarded for $0.23 million. The Lion King, sold price $6,750, movie year 1994, director Roger Allers and Rob Minkoff. The Lion King was welcomed into Disney's Masterpiece Collection with its clamshell. Unlike the Black Diamond Edition tapes, this one may be part of the trending price hikes on Disney VHS tapes rather than being actual rare. It sold on September 26, 2021 for $6,750. The listing does not explain the high price. Presumably somebody just loves The Lion King that much. In their defense, it's pretty iconic. Did you know Disney didn't actually have much faith in The Lion King at the time of production, a loose adaptation of Shakespeare's Hamlet with animals? They put their B team and second string animators on the project, saving the more experienced team for Pocahontas, which are expected to be a bigger of the two films. The Little Mermaid, sold price $9,503, movie year 1989, director Ron Clements and John Musker. The Little Mermaid is the film that kick-started the Disney Renaissance, the period where Disney made most of the films now considered their favorites. This Black Diamond clamshell sold for around $9,500 for a few reasons, the first being the allure of these rare editions. The second is the band cover, though that word is not quite accurate. Disney pulled the cover from circulation and replaced it with another when it was brought to the attention that one of the center towers in Atlantis looks like a male genitalia. The other responsible claim it was a coincidence. Did you know half-human, half-fish people are well known as merfolk or mermaids? But Ursula, half-human and half-octopus, is a lesser-known mythological creature called a Cecilia. Beauty and the Beast, sold price $10,000, movie year 1991, director Gary Tuesdale and Kirk Wise. Beauty and the Beast is arguably regarded as the best or near best of Disney's Renaissance films which they made from the period between 1989 and 2000s. It combines CGI and traditional art elements for the first time as well as few songs now synonymous with love and childhood. To own this tale as old as time, in its Black Diamond Edition clamshell, one fan paid $10,000 earlier this year. Notably, Beauty and the Beast is one of the best bets for scoring a price like this, in addition to being the second highest overall. The top 20 most expensive tapes on eBay feature more than one copy of this timeless classic. Did you know the beautiful ballad Beauty and the Beast, one of the last songs written by Oscar winner Howard Ashman, was offered to Angela Lansbury, the voice of Mrs. Potts. But she protested, suggesting that another character with a more trained voice would be better singing the song. Directors Tuesdale and Wise convinced her to record one as a backup. As soon as they heard it, they knew that it will be one that made the final cut. 101 Dalmatians, sold price $14,000, movie year 1961, directors Clyde Geronimi, Hamilton Lusk, and Wolfgang Reitman. The rarest Disney VHS tape is the Black Diamond Edition clamshell for 101 Dalmatian. The film, directed by Disney Hallmark artists Geronimi, Lusk, and Reitman, has recently become more popular due to Disney's live-action prequel Cruella. The Black Diamond on the side indicates the collector's cue to spend insane amount on this tape. They view the adventures of Pongo and Perdita in the classic clamshell chipped no less. Cost one lucky person $14,000 on eBay in September of 2021. Did you know the spots of the dogs proved a near impossible problem for the animators until they realized that rather than draw them on every cell, they could use Xerox or draw a photocopy to lift the spots from one frame to the next without doing them all manually. The process leaves the film looking sketchy and loose because actual pencil drawings are making it onto the screen. These Disney VHS tapes contain some of the most well-loved animated films of all time. Whether they are actually worth the amount they sometimes sell on eBay remains to be seen. Regardless, they are rare, coveted, and sometimes exorbitantly valuable collector's items. Most own 101 Dalmatian for free for $25 or for the price of a Disney Plus subscription. But if you want to pay $14,000 for it, you always could.